Well, Simon, it's obviously been a massive period for the club and it's a massive week. How's the mood sort of been during the week off in Western Australia, and how's the focus heading into Friday night?
Yeah, look, the focus has been really strong. We've had a couple of really strong training sessions. I guess the feeling internally within the camps, just one of excitement, one where we're prepared. We believe in the way we play, and we're looking forward to the challenge. And that's certainly not lost on it, the opportunity and the challenge that's in front of us. But I think it's one of excitement and one that we're looking forward to getting a part of.
In terms of defining moments, that round 23 game seems pretty pivotal now, given you got the win in the qualifying final and you go through the week off. I mean, how much can you draw off that second half comeback against the same opponent a couple of weeks on?
Oh, look, I think you can draw a lot of belief in terms of how you play, and that the game's never over. We've come from behind a number of times this year in really important games for us, against the Lions in the middle of the year and again in round 23. So it certainly builds belief that, we can do it from any position. And obviously against the opposition we're playing against, it was only 4 weeks ago. So that builds a lot of belief in that. But as I said the other night, it's a new challenge. It's a new game and a new opportunity, and we believe in how we play. We think we're pretty sound in the foundations that we have, but we need to execute, and that's the challenge for any team at this time of year, is to be at your best at the right time, and that's our aim.
Conversely, Simon, what did you learn from the first half against the Cats?
There's always plenty to learn, Roger, and we had a look at a number of things within that game. Probably not going to go into the specifics of those learnings, but we're a club that do learn from situations, and we found ourselves behind by 40 points really quickly within that game. It was a 3-minute patch within a game that they kicked 5 goals. So there were things that we can control within that. There were things that Geelong were very good at. But it's something that we don't want to see happen again, because it's momentum in the game that can be really hard to arrest.
Do you have an update on Joel Smith's condition?
Yeah, Joel Smith's got a minor hammy. It's obviously been reported, his injury. So that's disappointing for Joel. He's worked really hard to get back into the team and perform really strongly for us. So that's disappointing for him. But with that becomes an opportunity for someone else. And at 5 o'clock or so tonight, when the teams get released, you'll find out who that lucky person is.
If you win Friday night, do you know his prognosis for the grand final, Simon, at this stage?
I'm not really into ifs, but he's looking okay. Yeah, it's pretty minor, so he's full steam ahead in his preparation, and he'll do everything he can to be ready, if that's the case.
Goody, speaking of full steam, Stephen May said earlier in the week that you had a fairly intense match sim on the weekend. Boys were going at it, and you might have had to drag him in and just tell them to calm down and protect themselves and protect each other. Is that right?
Oh, that's just the way we train, Corey. We like to be really competitive in the way we train, and clearly there's a level of excitement. But we wanted to make the competition and the match simulation feel as close to a game as possible. A bit of flesh on flesh is really important this time of year for the competitive juices, and we want to make sure that that's a hallmark of how we play. We play a contested style of game that's strong defensively, and we need to train it. It's really important for our mindset and the ability to go out and execute.
Just on the training, Goody, I know we heard from Max Gawn earlier in the week that you've had limited access to the ovals to be actually be able to run around outside of the resort. And he said something about you doing like 1,000 laps of the car park to keep busy. Is that what you've had to do to just try and get yourself through the 2 weeks?
Yeah, it is. Look, we haven't got access to a gym here, and the staff obviously like to stay fit and healthy. And we've got a car park available, so a lot of staff have been out there walking laps. And I think it's more for a mental thing. Put the earpods in and listen to a podcast or a little bit of radio and just tune out. So that's been an opportunity. We've had some access to ovals within training times and whatnot, but I think everyone in quarantine finds different ways to tune out and relax. And my escapes walking laps of a car park, which I'm not sure is doing my mental state much good, but anyway, it's all good.
How tough is the decision going to be with Jaden Hunt this week, Goody? I mean, he's been out of the side for a while now. Do you have confidence that he can run out a game if he does come straight back in?
Yeah, look, we have confidence in our performance staff to get them prepared physically to be able to play. There's no question about that. We've seen that over the whole year. They've done a wonderful job in that space, and obviously the decision will come down to what our really risk appetite is like. You know, we've got a lot of guys pressing for selection, and Jaden's one of them. You know, he trained strongly on Tuesday. He's in the mindset of being available and being able to press his case, and you know, we've got some decisions to make, and obviously they'll be released later.
Simon,
How difficult is it this time of year when you've got no external form to go to? All you got is training and what you can see of blokes while they're in quarantine.
Yeah, look, we have got, you know, we've got pretty much the training form, and we've got some match simulation form, and we've got some former guys just before we left. So, you know, Jake Melksham, Michael Hibbard, Nathan Jones, you know, James Jordan are all putting their case forward. You know, Aaron Vandenberg's another one that have performed really strongly in these games. So we have got a number of guys, and a lot of those guys are experienced and understand the demands of AFL footy. So that puts us in a pretty good position.
You mentioned risk appetite, Goody. Where does it sit with you at the moment?
In terms of risk, we're at the pointy end of the year, so you know, you need to make calculated decisions, but there's no coming back. You know, we need to perform strongly. We need to win games of footy, and you know, we're at that sudden death stage of the season. So you know, we'll make that decision. We'll sit here and be really calculated in that, and do what's best for the team.
Simon,
are you approaching the weight of history, Simon?
Oh, look, there's pressure on everyone. There's pressure on every footy club. If you look at history and circumstance of all teams that are still in the running, there's pressure on every side for different variety of different reasons. You know, our pressure comes because we haven't won it for such a long period of time. But that's a real privilege for us. You know, we think we've worked our way to create an opportunity to put our best on show, and that's the way we're looking at it. We want to embrace that past. We want to make sure that we really respect what the opportunity that's in front of us and go after it. And that's what the players have been brilliant about all year. They've been able to reset themselves. They've been able to understand the importance of staying in the moment. And it's no different now. Just because we're getting closer, that doesn't change our thought process.
Simon, are you interested in luring Adam Shearer to the club when your season wraps up?
Oh, we're not interested in talking about any of those things at the moment. What we're interested in is preparing for a game of footy, a tough game of footy. So those things will be discussed at the end of the year. I'm not going to comment on list management right at this time. It's not the time, and you know, we've got a pretty big game ahead of us tomorrow night.
Last couple, thanks guys.
Does experience count for much when it comes to a preliminary final, Simon? Like if you look at the Cats lineup, they've been there and done a fair bit of that, and I guess their midfield in particular, they're all in their 30s, and you guys are generally in your 20s. Does that matter at all, or just comes down now basically to execution?
Oh, there's no doubt it comes down to execution, but I think there's sometimes some benefits in not knowing what's in front of you, not having some of the scars that are associated with prelim finals. So I think sometimes that's a good thing. I think we've got a good, healthy balance of experience and youth, and as I said, it really comes down now to be able to stay in the moment, execute what you need, and perform really well. And the team that does that, you know, will be the team that walks away with the result tomorrow night.